I'm gonna use my kitchen shears, my Epicure kitchen shears, and I just went and got some chicken tenderloins because they're easier. We're gonna cut this up into bite-sized pieces, so there is no reason to have to fool with the big chicken breast. So I'm just gonna cut these up into just kind of bite-sized pieces. Whatever size you want them to be is fine. And then here in a minute, we're gonna put them in a cornstarch mixture. And one of the things that I'm liking about these scissors, I have several different types of kitchen shears. These are super sharp, and the handle is not hard on your hand. So I know some of the ones that I have are hard, and I mean, it cuts through chicken like it's nothing. So it makes it really easy if you're needing bite-sized chicken pieces to cut it up in just a minute. Okay, while we're waiting on our rice to cook, we're gonna go ahead and make our General Tso's chicken, because that's what our dinner's gonna be today. So first of all, I already prepped the chicken. I cut up chicken tenders with the kitchen shears. We're gonna coat that with some cornstarch here in a minute, so you're gonna need a little bit of cornstarch. I've already measured out 1/4 cup. So I'm gonna just go ahead, I'm gonna put that cornstarch into my bowl, and then we're gonna put our chicken into the cornstarch so that it'll have that little coating. If you've ever had General Tso's chicken or sesame chicken from a Chinese restaurant, you know it has just a little bit of a breading on it. So the cornstarch is gonna give us just that little bit of coating that we need, but still be gluten-free. So it's not gonna have breadcrumbs or anything on it. Okay, so I've got that over there, and I'll mix that up in just a second. I'm gonna go ahead and mix together the seasoning. I went ahead and put it into the bowl. You can see that in there. I should have used a clear bowl so you could see. But anyway, now we're gonna put in there 1/4 cup of water. I'm gonna add the water. And then we're also gonna need 2 tablespoons. I've got this cool little measuring spoon. It has a tablespoon on one side, teaspoon on this side, and 1/2 teaspoon on the opposite side. So it's everything all in one. You're gonna need soy sauce. I actually was not gonna use soy sauce. If you want to avoid MSG and all that kind of stuff, you can actually use coconut aminos, which is what I was gonna use, but I looked in the refrigerator and I couldn't find them. So I don't know if it's in the back of the fridge and I just haven't seen it, or if I used it all and didn't realize it. Aldi's has some. I know that's where I think I got it last time. But anyway, I do have some low sodium soy sauce, so I'm just going to use that today. And we needed, what did I say, 2 tablespoons? This is why you keep your recipe handy so that you can look back at it, because my memory's terrible and I totally forget what I've read right after I read it. Alright, so we're going to put 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, or if you don't want the additives in soy sauce, you can use coconut aminos. The difference, if you've not ever tried coconut aminos, it's very similar to soy sauce. It doesn't have as potent of a flavor, and I think that part of that has to do with the sodium content, because soy sauce has a lot of sodium. So if you're trying to avoid sodium, you definitely want to either use low sodium soy sauce or the coconut aminos. Now, I'm going to actually just use my my measuring spoon to stir up this sauce. The other thing that I need, though, is ketchup. I need 2 tablespoons of ketchup. I got mine from Thrive Market. I get the organic ketchup that they have. You can use whatever ketchup you like. Just put that right in the mixture and stir it in. So that's your sauce. The packet, a little bit of water, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Sauce is done. So super easy. And trying to see what it is in the package. It's has a little bit of cane sugar, garlic, chives, spices, and chilies. That's all that's in the sauce, and it makes a nice red sauce. I don't know if you can see that, but we'll show it to you better when we get it on top of the chicken. But super simple, very quick. Okay, now we're gonna prep our vegetables real quick. I've already got the chicken. I've put it in here. Actually, I put it in here with 1/4 of a cup of the cornstarch, and just going to toss that around and get it coated with the cornstarch so that you have a nice little coating on there. Just take a second. It's not a big deal. It doesn't have to take much time. Wash my hands real quick since you're dealing with raw chicken. And then now I've got my vegetables. I've started cutting up this red bell pepper. You can choose whatever you want to. I think it kind of pairs well with the flavorings with the red pepper. You could use green pepper, you can use yellow pepper, you could use broccoli, you could use whatever vegetable you want really. And these don't have to be, you can make them pretty if you want to, but I'm just trying to get them cut up really quickly. And then next up, we're going to toss it all in the skillet with about 3 tablespoons of, let's see, I don't know if I've got avocado, I've got olive oil, so I'm going to use that. I prefer not using seed oils, so if you can avoid canola oil and vegetable oil, you're better off using, like, I get mine at Aldi's. There is the extra virgin olive oil. I also like avocado oil. So either one of those are good options. So I'm just going to toss about 3 tablespoons into my wok. You don't have to use a wok. You can just use a regular skillet if you want to. I just like to have the high side so that I can toss the chicken around and get it done faster. So I don't know if you can see, I've got my skillet going and it's hot with the olive oil in it. I'm going to grab my chicken first. I want to add that in. Get a spoon here to scrape it out into there. And I'm going to get that cooking. I'm going to get that cornstarch, extra cornstarch in there too, because it'll just make some little crispy bits. Now, as it cooks, I'm going to use my silicone tongs to kind of flip the chicken as it cooks to get it to cook faster. Then, once we've got our chicken cooked, I'm going to set that aside and put it on a plate, and then I'm going to throw in the peppers and cook them, and then I'll toss the chicken back in and cook it all together. So my chicken's done. I'm going to turn my heat on my stove down. You can see it. It is all brown. Has the cornstarch browned it up. So I'm going to actually add it to the seasoning mixture that we mixed up earlier. And I'm going to add just a little bit more olive oil to my pan, and I'm going to toss my pepper in there. My stovetop is already really hot, so I'm just going to cook that and toss some peppers everywhere. Just going to toss that around, get those softened up, and then I'm going to add back, while that's softening, I'm just going to take my chicken and mix it up in the seasoning sauce and get it totally coated. That smells really good. You can see that as I mixed it in. And we're going to toss it back in the skillet here in just a second. These peppers won't take long to cook at all. The chicken didn't take long to cook either. I cut out while I was cooking it, but maybe 5 minutes. It may not have even taken that long. It was pretty quick because I had it cut up in really small bite-sized pieces. So, but honestly, everything you need, you can be, I mean, your kids could do this other than maybe watching them over the top of the stove, because the instructions are so easy, and it gives you step-by-step instructions, so you don't have to be any kind of professional to do any of the recipes. They're all really easy. Okay, so those peppers look done. As long as your pan's really hot, it won't take me just a second to get them done. I'm going to add back the chicken. Get all the sauce in there. I'm just going to toss it around. I'm going to show it to you and try not to make you seasick while I do it. I'm really bad at finding the camera on this thing. Okay. Now, I hope you can see that. See how pretty it is? And we're going to plate it here in just a second, and I'll take a picture of it plated so that you can see it. And then I will pull out my dessert and finish it off in just a second.